Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Doing fantastic. I know we took a week off, last week for Thanksgiving, and so that was nice. Got together with the family, had some good food, played a little ping pong, some darts. I had a nice fire at the end of the night, a little cigar. So it was a nice little a couple days off. How about you?
Oh, man, I have not thrown darts in probably like 6 or 7 years.
Good,
Yeah,
just have a beer and
like
throwing
it.
some darts. Like, yeah, it's great.
You know what else I probably haven't played in like 15 years is horseshoes.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah. I had a buddy in high school. He had a horseshoe pit at his house. And in summer, we would just go over there and we just play for hours. It was fun.
There's something about just like a nice summer night, couple buddies, set up the horseshoe rings and just crack a couple cold ones. Oh man.
I feel like we sound like a couple of old guys here.
You know what? We're both closer to 40 than we are 30.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
oh, man, no, our Thanksgiving was fantastic. It was low key. I did my usual extensive prep work on a turkey. I did my picanha, just phenomenal day. Got to spend time with the kids. The Macy's Day Parade, and my kids are super into Pokemon now. So, RIP to my wallet because they found out about the cards.
Yeah. Yep. Peop-
Expensive.
Yeah, and people are going crazy now, right? Like for like collectors and all of that kind of stuff. Like that was
Pokey
not a thing when we
investors.
were that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, they call themselves pokey investors, where like they buy a pack of cards that's no longer produced or they're about to stop production on, and they just sit on them. And I'm like, you're grown ass adults my age collecting things that are meant for children that we enjoyed at our generation. We enjoyed them at
yeah,
7, 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever. They're meant for children.
yeah. Like I'm
There are very few things that piss me off more than adults that are collecting new things that are geared towards current generation kids. Like, look, you want to go back and collect like the old 1994 like Saban Power Rangers stuff, or like you want to collect like the original Mattel Ninja Turtles or Transformers. Like, we're adults and we have adult money. Yes, like it's not a big deal if I spend $100 on like an original Green Power Ranger,
yeah.
but I'm not going to spend $100 on the
Yeah.
latest release of Pokemon cards and sit on them for 10 years like a jackass. All
Yeah.
right, I'm getting off my soapbox
Yeah.
now. Today, I've been having phenomenal workouts post Thanksgiving, and there's something to be said about I took the majority of last week off from training, got in my normal amount of fuel, probably a little bit more because of Thanksgiving, and I hit the gym this week and just this has been my best week of workouts in months.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do today is we're going to do a tier rank list of movements for chest hypertrophy. Now, caveat, this is mostly just our own experience and opinions. So if
Yeah.
you want to argue with it, buzz
Yeah. If you
off.
want to, yeah. But we're not looking at pure EMG studies here. Like this isn't going to be super data driven, I don't think.
Well, the chest fibers from the camel fly, when done at a 45, buzz off with that stuff. Okay. We're not here for that. So, what we're going to be doing is a tier ranking. So, you have F, D, C, B, A, and then S tier, where it's like, this is the king. Everyone else bow to this. So we've got 8 movements here, and I've had ChatGPT randomize them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the very first one that we are going to rank is the pec deck machine fly.
Okay, so remind me, we got S tier, A tier, B tier,
C,
C,
D,
D,
and
and
F.
F. Okay.
Yep.
Tech deck, I'm gonna go with C on this one. I really do. I like it. I mean, I'm just a big fan of flies in general for chest hypertrophy, kind of as maybe a secondary movement beyond a chest press type of thing. It's a very beginner friendly movement. That my
You
two
can't really
favorite.
do it wrong.
It's well, you'd be surprised. So my two favorite cues when you do this. I hope you're gonna love this. Hug a tree, squeeze a pen. right? So you're hugging a tree, and then think about squeezing a pen between your pecs. And then, kind of the same idea, right? You unhug a tree, very easy to remember, very easy to do. I think, it's one of those things that anybody kind of coming into the gym, their first program is going to have some type of pec deck chest fly. It's a great, easy movement, and it feels good.
I agree with this. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's very beginner friendly. Even if you are messing it up, like you can't mess it up so bad that it's ineffective. And your risk of hurting yourself is so low. This is one of those movements. Like if I were training people in a gym and I have a 75-year-old come in, this is a good movement from a functionality standpoint. Also, you need to be able to bring things together in front of you. Low risk of injury. You can progressively overload it. I'm also going to go with a C for this. Now you get a little more advanced and okay, scoot your butt towards the very edge of the seat to create a little bit of an angle for your chest. And you can do different things, different cues like, hey,
Big
lead
friend.
with your pinkies, bring your elbows together to better feel that squeeze a pin, right? So I like it, but there's definitely better movements. Like for a while now, I've led off my workout with a pec fly, with a machine pec fly, just more for like warm up, progress into activation. So I'm gonna go C as well. Next, we've got honestly, this is one of my personal favorites, the incline barbell bench press.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go into that B tier with it. I think, yeah, it is a great one. I obviously you can overload it quite significantly, right? Like you're just gonna be able to do more with a barbell than a dumbbell. I think though it's more advanced in the sense of you do gotta be strong, right? At minimum, you need to be able to do 45 pounds a bar. It can be potentially less friendly on some joints if you do have some shoulder issues, right? You are in a bit more of a fixed position because of a barbell. But I think, yeah, overall, like you're gonna get some really good activation out of it. You're gonna get even that benefit of a little bit more anterior delt too. But I think too, like you have to be aware of the angle of the bench. And so some people like I think 30 degrees is kind of right where you want it. That's where you're getting the best chest activation while minimizing shoulders.
Without going
So
too
yeah,
much.
a great exercise. But yeah, if you do need a spotter potentially too. So, there are some things where if you are a beginner or you're a little intimidated in the gym, maybe there's better options for you.
Absolutely. I so far we are step and step here. I'm putting it in my B tier as well. Now, what I like about the barbell incline bench press over a flat barbell bench press is from a safety perspective, like you can't really get pinned on that one. Like worst case, the bar is going to roll down to your hips, and like yeah, it might be uncomfortable sitting on your hips, but I really do like this movement. I personally enjoy doing a barbell incline bench press a lot, but because I do personally and from a practicality standpoint, I prefer the dumbbell variant. That's why I'm going to
Yeah.
put the incline barbell bench in the B tier. So next, cable chest fly, and I'm going to go ahead and say I'm putting this one in the B.
Okay.
This is my
Yeah.
favorite fly movement. It's like B plus, potentially A minus. So like
Yeah.
it's high ranking B. Okay. Whenever we're strictly talking about hypertrophy, what I like about the cable chest fly is there's a lot of variability to it because it's not specifying, whether you're going high, low, high, mid range. So
Or like
yeah,
if the
there's
gym isn't busy, I've always loved getting a bench and doing like an incline cable chest fly or something
yeah,
like that. Like it is a little harder to set up, especially if the gym is busy, but like, yeah, tons of variation. Again, fairly simple to set up. Don't need to do a ton of weight, joint friendly. And I think kind of you mentioned with the pec deck, like you can get then even a little more technical where like if I'm doing a high to low because of how the humerus like your arm acts on the pec, like as you open up and you come down, you're bringing that pec into more with that internal rotation. And so like you can do some of those small things where, hey, maybe I can squeeze a little more out of it.
Solid dad pun right there. Yeah, cable chest fly, it's a B for me, bordering on A. The only reason why it doesn't make the A tier for me is because this one you can more easily mess up compared to a pec deck fly. Again, I love flies for hypertrophy purposes, but because I've also seen some people just like their arms are practically at 90 degrees, and it's like,
You like those TRX arms.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're getting 5 inches of range of motion, like
Yeah.
lighten the weight up, open up the chest, hug a tree, squeeze a pencil still, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm going upper B, lower A. Where are you putting this one?
I'm right in lockstep with you there. And I swear, guys, we did not discuss this beforehand. We're on the same wavelength today.
Well, I mean, I guess this is also kind of what happens whenever you have two people with formal educations on exercise science,
Yeah.
kinesiology.
Yeah. Yeah. And almost 30 years of training experience between the two of them.
So next, this is an interesting one. I'm glad you suggested to throw this in. Decline bench press.
Yeah. I think this is more of an old school movement, like you see, I saw this a lot more, let's say in maybe Arnold's day and things like that. Like, and this is kind of a one that you don't see even like a standard barbell decline setup in gyms really. Like I mainly don't see it at all. Like I have to go in at my gym, have like the sit-up bench essentially and set it up in a rack, right? But biomechanically, this one probably hits the chest the best in all senses of the word. And a lot of people will go incline hits upper chest. Well, the way this does set up, decline actually is hitting your upper chest a little bit more. And so it I'm not gonna quite put it in the S tier because it's an awkward one to set up. It can feel a little scary. And you do want to have like a 6-inch towel on your chest or something, just so you're keeping I think it's the infraspinatus from tearing. Like you don't want to quite go all the way down. So there are some of those considerations. But I think from a pure, just let's say hypertrophy standpoint, like I'm gonna put it in that A tier just because of how much you are hitting that chest. And it's so underrated. Like no one really thinks about it, right? Like anytime someone's like, "Oh, I'll work on my upper chest," I throw in a decline, they're like, "What?" But yeah, like this is actually gonna be probably a little bit better than an incline.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this one in the B tier. So this is like our first one that we'll have a variance on. I'm putting this one in the B tier from the setup perspective, and also from it can be a challenging movement depending on the gym you go to. Like, so I've got two gym memberships. If I want to do a decline bench press of any kind at the Anytime Fitness I go to, I've got to grab the decline setup bench, put it in a rack or put it in the Smith machine. And like, I'm not about to try it in the space for dumbbells. There's only one of the fixed decline bench stations at the Gold's Gym that I go to, whereas they have 3 incline and 4 flats. So it's like, if there's someone else using it, I've got to wait for it. Number two reason why I'm going to put this in the B tier is from a perspective of thinking about people that are maybe more in the beginner to intermediate category. So, like I mentioned with the barbell bench press, how it's a little bit safer than a flat barbell bench press, because if you get pinned, you're
Yeah,
just going to roll it to your hips.
yeah. If you're getting
A
pinned and
flat
declined,
barbell bench press, like, it's getting pinned to your chest or your neck. With
you
this,
fucked.
you're doing free weight barbell, it's getting pinned to your neck.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and I am a stickler about, for any barbell bench press, do not put collars on the bar. It can literally save your life. So from that perspective, hypertrophy wise, progressive overload, it's a phenomenal movement. Movement wise, it's great. But like you said, you got to roll a towel to put over your sternum. You got to watch out for this one. You really should have a spotter if you're doing a decline barbell bench press. Now, if you're working out from home and you want to do dumbbells, fantastic. That kind of creates the best of both
a
worlds in
lot
terms
easier
of
to bail.
safety, but you still have to have something that stops you from getting too deep into it. like
Yeah,
you said, we gotta be watching the shoulders on this one. So I like it when it's done right, but because of these considerations, I'm putting it respectably in the B category.
fair.
Now, next one, dumbbell flat bench press. I'm going A tier on this one.
Yeah,
I love this because you can make a modification if you're somebody that has any type of an injury history. You can modify what angle you've got your wrists at. You can modify where your elbow travel is, whether that's just tucking the elbows a little bit more and making it more of like a neutral grip. If you're really trying to isolate a lot more of the upper pec, then you want to flare a little bit more with your and again, you can go anywhere in between based off of comfort for your shoulder. You can still progressively overload it really well, especially with the addition to the market of magnetic weights that will
yeah,
work on pretty much every dumbbell out there. Because even the rubber coated ones you see at your gym are still ultimately metal
yeah,
on the inside for the most part. I really love this movement for hypertrophy purposes. The only thing stopping it from being in the S tier for me is because it can take longer to get to a point where you're ready for more weight just because it's a dumbbell movement and you're going to have one side that's a little bit stronger than the other. That's the only thing stopping it from being S tier for me.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think I want to go S tier just because, from a personal standpoint, this is my favorite movement. I love it. Like I've worked with it in multiple ranges. 15 reps. I've done pure strength work with it before, like 3 by 5, and then like a set of two. Like I've gotten up to like 120s pressing for 2 or 3 reps, and like the stability that I had built, where like got to a point, I was so comfortable grinding out a 3-second rep, right? Where it would get stuck, but it was just like boom, 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 like, and you just know it's coming, right? And so just the versatility of it, you can go heavy. Yes, the hardest part is like, a 5 pound jump can be a lot, right? I do think though it's still easy to progress, where it's like, okay, maybe we do a rep progression 2, 3 weeks, and then you can add that 5 pounds, right? And so you can still make it easy. Maybe it's not quick, where to a barbell bench, you're adding 5, 10 pounds a week. But then when you consider let's say just the shoulder, or the chance and risk of injury, I think the slowness of a dumbbell increased progressive overload outweighs than some of the potential negative benefits of that barbell bench press. That's just my opinion. I love the movement because, again, also everyone can do it, right? Like, it's easy to bail on. The versatility of it is fantastic from beginner to advanced. Like, you can do it. And so yeah, for me it's S tier.
Honestly, that's a really, really good take. So next up is the machine chest press. Now,
Are we Yeah, are we just like the sitting flat one? I've seen one where like a laying, right?
I like the laying, especially if it's
Yeah.
plate loaded.
Don't see much of those though. At least I haven't.
Oh man, that's so we have a hammer strength at my Anytime Fitness, and then we have multiple Nautilus, hammer strength, Precore. We have a couple of different plate loaded ones at the Gold Gym. So the plate loaded, if we're talking that, those are some of my favorite ones to work with because the one that we have at my Anytime Fitness and at Gold's like the exact same model where they're independent arms. They have an automatic built-in spotter on the bottom of it. You can put a 25-pound plate underneath it if you're a bigger guy so that your arms aren't going super, super deep. You can actually raise up where the bottom out point is. I love this, especially whenever it's converging. Whenever
Right.
it's a converging one where your fists are starting out wide and then they're getting narrower as you're coming through, from a pure hypertrophy standpoint and thinking about the direction of travel of the muscles, thinking about the humerus, thinking about the shoulder joint, thinking about the elbows, it is mechanically the most well thought out machine for chest, in my opinion.
Okay.
I love that you can feel great activation. I love that I can have someone who is brand new to the gym, like 15, 18, 20 years old, 70 years old. I can have somebody who's older get on this machine, and especially because of the plate loaded versions, you can go with such small increments, like how
Yeah.
whatever the smallest plate is at your gym. Like at my Golds, we have 1.25 pound plates, two and a
Nice.
half pounds, five.
Yeah.
We have 7.5 pound plates. Like what? I've
Yeah.
never seen 7.5 pound plate
Yeah. That's
until
wild.
so
Yeah.
like it's cool to see the machine by itself. Even if you're brand new, you can just get the form down, you can feel what that feels like. Make sure if you're somebody with an injury history in like your shoulder, your elbows, your wrist, you can make sure that's not going to bother you, but also because of it being converging and independent, you get all of the benefits of a dumbbell movement and a little bit easier of a setup to get into. You can go micro load it with 1.25, 2.5 pound plates on each side. You can feel your chest move together. And again, you're just thinking at the very top, squeeze a pin.
Yeah.
I'm putting this one in my S tier.
Okay. I am gonna be honest, I'm gonna just follow your lead on this one. I haven't had a lot of experience with it. Like so I'm gonna agree with you. You're a smart guy. I trust your opinion. We're gonna go S tier. I'm agreeing with this.
Dude,
But it really is like those are all, yeah, like fantastic points. And again, like it kind of comes back to like anybody can do it, right? And I think that's always when we're kind of looking at some of this stuff is yeah, the how accessible is that movement across the spectrum? And whether you're a beginner or whether you are advanced, you're gonna find some benefit to it, right? And there's gonna be something that you can get out of it.
the other thing that I like with this, let's assume it's not one of the laying ones. Let's assume it's more of the seated upright ones. Even if that's what you've got at your gym, get a foam roller and you can still get that same benefit of adjusting the depth. So if you're like, hey, maybe you're a smaller person, right? And you need to bring your body up more, you can take a foam roller and just stick it between your shoulder blades. And then the other benefit there is now you're getting a deeper stretch. You're able to retract your shoulder blades more to get that full range of motion. So even for like the seated machine, again, when it's a converging movement, bringing your hands together, I just don't think there's a better one all around. And with that being said, we move into my all-time favorite. My ultimate, if I had to marry one movement and have a family with it, and this is strictly from personal enjoyment and personal experience, the barbell flat bench press. And I'm gonna do my love a little dirty. I'm gonna put her in the A tier.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's one of those things where and this is not to be sexist, but what guy doesn't want to be able to bench two plates, right? Like that's just kind of the ultimate like you start off in the gym and it's like that's always kind of that goal. It's like I want to bench two plates. And so yeah, I think from a just the whole everything around it and again just how much you can overload right compared to like a dumbbell, it's a great movement. I think though a lot of people do it wrong, and, especially for us, I think coming from a powerlifting background too where like the setup of a barbell bench press is just it's so important, right? And then
If the
it's
setup is wrong, just stop.
so technical, right? And so you do have to spend some time, I think, practicing and cueing it. And I know now for me, as like I've gotten older, like I have come back to it a little bit, but without a doubt, within like 5, 6 weeks, shoulders start to get a little achy, even with like perfect form. So I think I'll kind of go. It's kind of in between that A and B for me, like kind of a B plus A minus, like kind of right in there, because I don't think it is as accessible as most people might tend to think it is. But from a hypertrophy standpoint, overloading, like yeah, it is a great compound movement. And then also just from a strength perspective, right? Like if you're getting your barbell bench press strength up, well, you're probably going to be able to fly a lot more. You're going to be able to dumbbell incline. Like there
You're
is
gonna
going to be
shoulder press more. Your
yeah,
triceps are gonna be stronger.
transferability. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going A tier for essentially the exact same reasons. Like you can progressively overload it very well. There's a lot of there's a lot of benefits to being able to do when I say barbell, I am differentiating between a Smith machine because The nice thing about a Smith machine is it's just simply press. But with barbell, you've got to also be thinking about the actual travel path, because if you're just going in a straight line up and down, RIP to your shoulders, to your elbows, there is technicality that you want to put into it. And based on your leverages, based on your muscle insertions, you're going to have to modify this to some degree to fit you. But once you find where everything should be in terms of like your elbow flare, how much is flared, how much is tucked. Once you get to that point, you learn how to pack your lat at the bottom of it and just explode out of the hole.
Yeah.
It is such
Yeah.
a phenomenal movement that you can take so far for so long. But I find that this is one of those movements that whenever a beginner hits their wall, they're at that wall for a good little while, and it can be frustrating. But there's lots of ways that you can train it. And like look at power lifters. I know we're talking about hypertrophy, but look at power lifters. You can put blocks on the bench to train specific portions for where you're getting stuck at. You can change up your tempo, you can do pause technique, you can
Yeah.
incorporate drop sets. There's a lot of good things you can do to get through wherever your sticking point is in the movement. But like you need to have a bit of an arc to the travel of the barbell. You need to make sure that you've got your elbows in a good spot, or again, you're going to fry your elbows. Same thing with
Yeah.
your shoulders.
Understanding hip drive.
Right. Your foot placement. Like if you've got happy feet going on, like there was a guy today at the gym that I know is bench pressing, and this is not at all intended as an insult, but if I see somebody with 135 on the bar, I can safely assume you're still relatively new in your journey. You're probably 6 months or less into regularly working out. You've hit the first milestone. You're now a Padawan, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're in the Jedi Order, but we don't grant you the rank of master. So I see this guy and like the bench is way too high. Unfortunately, it's just a fixed flat bench that was way too high. Not that he's a short guy, but you could see like his feet are just sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
Hey, let's grab a 25-pound bumper plate, put that under your feet just to raise them up. And like I would love to help him out, but I'm also not that guy to give unsolicited advice in the gym
Yeah.
if I don't know you.
Yeah.
So again, there's lots of things for consideration, but once you know the movement, it's like knowing how to fight. Like it's always a good skill to have.
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
This brings us to our final one, and that is the incline dumbbell press. Lead us off.
Yeah, I think I'll go. I mean, it's kind of been that for me SA tier, I think, right? Like it's just kind of again in the similar sense of like a dumbbell flat bench, right? Now it's just an incline, right? All the other same things apply in terms of what we talked about with the dumbbell bench, but now it's an incline, right? And it's easy again to work through multiple different rep ranges. You're hitting again, I know we kind of went through the decline upper chest thing, but you're still getting some upper chest. You can again, it's very accessible. You have to make sure again you have to have the correct setting, right? At that 30 degrees. Maybe if you have some shoulder issues, you do have to flare a little bit more on an incline than say like a flat where you can tuck a little bit more. Like I think you do want to have a little bit more of a 90-degree angle. Maybe not so much, but around that. But yeah, I think kind of for all the same reasons of like a dumbbell bench, I'm gonna put it in that S to A tier.
I'm gonna have this one be my other S tier.
Yeah.
I love the dumbbell incline press. Again, it's safe, it's effective. You're going to get hypertrophy from it. If you're brand new to the gym or if you've been in the gym for 10 years, it should be in your programming. I absolutely love this movement. I don't have any real knock to say other than as with any movement, if you're doing it with just the absolute most wonkiest wrong form possible, of course you're going to get yourself hurt. But otherwise, this is a phenomenal movement. As long as you're listening to your body, as long as hey, check your own form. Like, even if you're not working with a coach, it's still a good idea on any free weight movement, especially early on in the gym. I know it can feel awkward to set up a camera, but record yourself doing it. Just if nothing else, look at your form and then do a simple YouTube search. How to dumbbell incline bench press, how to squat, how to insert exercise here. Watch the instructional video and then look at your video. Hey, how close do you really look to be doing it the way that's being demonstrated? Now, if you're working with a coach, your coach should be able to say, hey, let's pause here. Hey, you're really high inclined on this. We want to be at a lower incline. Or hey, it looks like we're really struggling a bit with the amount of flare you're getting on this elbow. So here's a cue, right? If you're doing this though with the right form, this is just such a phenomenal home run of a movement. I'm giving this my S as well.
Yeah. So
All right. So with that being said, let's do a blind rank of all right. So let's do a blind rank of board games.
okay, I'm not a big board game person, but okay.
Really? Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I've gotten to be one a little bit more since meeting Steph, but let's still do it. I'm not good at them. I usually suck.
All right. Blind rank. Yeah, it gave me like three that I have never heard of.
That's the thing is like there's so many out there. It's crazy.
All right. So there we go. There we go. Okay. The first one that I came up with, Monopoly. I'm going five.
Yeah, fuck Monopoly. This takes way too long.
Tears friendships apart. It causes
Yeah,
rifts in the family. No, no,
no.
that's
I
solid five. Next up, the game of life.
ooh, that's a fun one. I haven't played that one in a while. I like that. I'll go. I'll go three. I kind of want to go two, but I'm curious to see what else is out there.
I'm gonna go two, and I think part of it's because this was like the precursor for The Sims for me. Like I loved
Yep.
playing The Sims as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go two because I love that it was like, hey, pick college or go to work. Okay, make your decisions, right? All right. Next is Sorry.
Four.
I
Sorry, I hated that.
Yeah, I can't remember playing it a lot as a kid. Better than Monopoly, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why. Yeah. We'll go
I'm
four.
gonna I'm gonna match it. I'm gonna go four. So I have one and two remaining. I believe,
Yeah.
or I have one and three remaining. I think you
One
have
and
one
two.
and two. All right. Ooh, next up, Battleship.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Here's a
give it
fun
number one. I'm gonna
I
give
kind
it
of
my
want to go what? Yeah, because I remember we also got like a Star Wars one at one point. That was really fun. Yeah, it'd be like Imperials versus Rebels. Like yeah, so I'll go one.
man. I would love.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
cool.
I'm going one as well. I loved Battleship as a kid, and it's such a solid option. I don't want to roll the dice on what the last one is. So my default number three, your default number two is Connect Four.
Sure. I didn't know that's not really a board game. It's
I mean, that's
I
I guess
guess
technically
it's
so.
technically.
Okay,
All right,
Connect.
sure.
Look, I
Oh,
was I was I was expecting something like did you ever play Don't Daddy?
which one?
It was Don't Wake Daddy.
No,
Oh,
I understand the premise, but just by the name of it. But
yeah. So it was like the dad was like, whatever you rolled, you had to press the alarm clock that many times, and it was just randomized. Like if you
yeah,
woke up, you had to go back to home. The objective was that you were trying to wind your way through the board game to get to the fridge to get a late night snack. So of
yeah,
course, hefty 7-year
yeah,
old. I related to that game.
yeah. That's that's funny.
Oh man. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. As always, please be sure to like, share, leave a review. It really helps us out. Subscribe. You have no idea how beneficial that is for anyone who's trying to get a podcast going or any type of YouTube or content going. So if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe and we'll catch you on the next one. Until then,